Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today we're going to have a little bit of a talk about what type of hammers do you need to get started blacksmithing. So I've pulled up 4 of some of my most used hammers in the blacksmith shop, and I'm going to go over them now. So this is a 3-pound cross peen hammer. This is what I started into blacksmithing with. It has held up great. I've replaced the handles several times in this hammerhead, but this came from Harbor Freight. It is made in China, and it proved out to be a very effective hammer to use for quite a bit of my career in blacksmithing, for at least the first 4 years. Now, I eventually got tired of swinging this big old monster here, and I made a hammer in class with Tom Latney. This is one that you'll see in every last one of my videos. This is a 1 3/4 pound wrought iron hammer with steel faces welded in, done in a traditional method. Again, this is a cross peen, and a little bit different is it's got a flat peen to it. Now that flat peen I did on the notation from Peter Ross. From learning this from Peter Ross, he does a flat peen as it spreads the material a little more effectively, has less galling or choppiness in spreading material, as where you might get with a sharper peen. Now, this is my hammer. I use it every single day. This is what I would consider a regular forging hammer. You need to get yourself something in the 1 3/4 to maybe 2-pound range. It is a perfect size to swing all day for most builds. 3-pound, I would consider this for driving punches, working larger material, stuff like that, and I very rarely ever get out a larger hammer than 3 pounds on any material I'm working, on up to 1-inch material. And then, using it on hammerheads and things like that, but that's a different point altogether. One of the next hammers that I use almost, a lot of is a ball peen. Now you can get all these hammers, you can find all these except the wrought iron with steel faces. You can get all these size hammers. This is an 18-ounce ball peen hammer, or it might even be a 16-ounce. It's been a while, I don't remember. I want to say it's a 16-ounce, a 1-pound ball peen hammer. You can get all these at secondhand stores, you name it, garage sales, antique shows, buy them straight off the shelf. Ball peen's pretty standard hammer, and you can do a lot of work with these. They also make these in 2-pound varieties, and so there you go. You get your 2-pound forging hammer, and you got the ball peen on the back end as well. Although it may not be as small as this ball is, I have found this to be very, very handy in a lot of circumstances. So this is another great option to add to the collection of hammers. Finally, this is another one. This is a little Scandinavian style cross peen hammer that I made. Again, wrought iron with steel faces welded in on the front and the back, on the peen and on the face. This little dandy here, I use this for lock work and making small parts, making little rivets and things. But a small hammer like this is sub 1 pound. I think this is about a 14-ounce hammer. Getting something like this, but with maybe a little sharper peen, will really help you texture things like petals, flower petals, things like that. It's a great little texturing hammer, peening hammer for small rivets and things. And in general, you can get into some tight little areas and do little finessey blow type things without having to swing that big old 3-pound hammer or 2-pound hammer to do tiny little curls on scrolls and whatnot. It's nice to switch it up and go to a much smaller little hammer for that. Plus, you get a lot better reach on the scroll. So those are just 4 hammers. There's thousands of varieties of hammers you can go with, but these are what I would suggest for any beginner to get in their shop. Of course, there's always hammers like rounding hammers, like the Brian Brazil style, and you can go with that, and they make them in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Basically, it's a farrier's turning hammer or clipping hammer. You can take and get one of those. There's Hoffy style hammers. There's just a slew. There's diagonal peens, left and right diagonals. There's straight peen hammers. There's thousands of different types of hammers, leafing hammers, and you name it, of all sorts of shapes and sizes. basically you just want to kind of take and get at least the basic hammers in. You know, these 4 hammers and those sizes will be able to do a good majority of your work for quite a few years. And then you can always try out some other hammers and find out what best suits your body type and your forging style and ability. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And as always, God bless you, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.